But who better than me?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Bass Talks. As always, please like and subscribe, share with a friend, a colleague, a relative, an associate, an enemy, any and all in between. It's appreciated. I didn't get a huge amount of interviews yesterday. Admittedly, there were some that I could have, maybe worked a bit harder to work out. But again, had a couple things I had to do left, right and centre. There was a few other people that I did really want to speak to. But as always, I was able to get the main man himself, Mr. Matchroom Chairman, Eddie Hearn. The #1 global promoter, but maybe the #2 UK promoter after the weekend. You guys will see what I mean about that in the interview. But now look, always a good fun time speaking with Eddie, even if he doesn't always remember me immediately, like the big guns, but that's fine. Yeah, please watch, enjoy, leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and I will catch you afterwards. This is Bass the Kid, the hardcore casual, and I'm delighted to once again be joined by the #1 global promoter in the world, although he might be #2 in the UK right about now. Matchroom Chairman Eddie Hearn. Eddie, how are you, man?
Well, you started so well. I was thinking, I can't remember you too well. You can definitely come back, but you can fuck off, to be honest with you. No, we'll take a beating on Saturday, but it was a great event. But delighted to be here today with you guys in the garden, and looking forward to carrying on a very busy year.
No, look, I very much appreciated being here in the garden. Brilliant place. Quick question though. So with the 5v5, I've had a suspicion that I've always wanted to ask. All of the matches, you picked 2, Frank picked 2, His Excellency picked 1, but they all kind of seem to be weighted towards Queensberry in terms of strength of depth of that particular division. Was there a mandate or something put in place by yourself or His Excellency or Frank, or an agreement to say that we're only going to pick from a select amount of weight classes?
No, we just wanted 50-50 fights. So like, if we went for certain weight classes with our best fighters, they might have been a mismatch either way. Do you know what I mean? Like if I went, I don't want to be disrespectful to fighters, but if I went Andy Cruz in lightweights, they've got Mark Chamberlain and Sam Noakes, 2 brilliant young fighters, by the way, but they wouldn't beat Andy Cruz. But Frank wouldn't make that fight because he wants to have a chance of winning the fight, and me the same. If he went, trying to think of his best fighter in a weight class, well, we're not very strong, I don't know, yeah, but even light heavy, like if he went Anthony Yard, we would have picked Craig Richards. As it would have gone, he would have been a massive favourite in that fight, right? But that wasn't the idea of the tournament. The idea of the tournament was picking weight divisions that would be brilliant fights. Ray Ford against Nick Bull, like really, in my opinion, the #1 and #2 featherweights in the world. Amo Williams against Hamza Shiraz. We picked the fights that we felt were 50-50. Unfortunately, he won 5 50-50s, so we didn't quite get it right. But I think it's a bit of a freak results card, but fair play to all the fighters. They've done amazing.
Well, look, the closest fight on the card was definitely Ray Ford and Nick Bull in terms of how did you have that scored? Because to me, quite honestly, I had it scored quite clearly to Ray Ford. I know a lot of people say it was quite close, but what did you see from ringside?
I saw a tight victory for Ray Ford, 115, 113. Like Nick Bull is so impressive because his volume is unbelievable, but Ray was taking a lot of them on the gloves. But it doesn't matter, I say it doesn't matter. When you're letting those punches go, 6-7 punch combinations, and Ray's coming back with 2 clean ones, sometimes the judges will be influenced by the output. And that's what I always say to fighters in fights, don't get outworked. When Catchall fought Taylor, I was screaming at him the last few rounds saying, output, like don't just get outworked. Like, all the clean work in Catchall Taylor was coming from Jack. The output was coming from Taylor, but it wasn't landing clean. But sometimes, like in a fight, we'll say, yeah, but they weren't landing. So, yeah, but what people are seeing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nick Bull's like, wow, and then Ray comes back with 1 shot, but that lands clean and the other 6 didn't. They're probably going to score the 6, the volume. And I feel like that's what happened in that fight because the cleaner work was 100% from Ray Ford. But it was a very close fight. Could have gone either way. And, if anyone deserved the rubber to green, it was Nick Bull, because I feel like he won against Ray Vargas and didn't get the decision.
Fair enough. So with regards to, I guess, the people that were on the 5v5, obviously they were Matchroom's picks, they were, they're your charges. What's sort of the plan for a lot of them in terms of coming back? I know it might be a few months or whatever, but
I mean, the main thing is they're a part of a show that's going to raise their profile considerably. I mean, people like Amo Williams, Ray Ford, their profile, their stock goes up considerably through those performances. So, they'll be back. Ray's going to move to 130, try and fight for a world title there. Craig, it was a bad loss for him, but I'm sure he'll be back as well. Amo Williams, huge support for him. People loved him, and he's a guy that has never really had the right preparation. I think if he gets that right, he's going to really be, a great fighter in the middleweight division. Hrgovic was a tough defeat, and then Wilder, who knows, could be the end of the road.
Really quickly, going to Jaron Ennis, July the 13th.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cody Crowley has now pulled out due to eye injury not being cleared. Has there been any talks about replacement opponent yet?
Sure, we've been going down the IBF rankings. We hope to announce a replacement tonight, but it will be someone from the top 15.
Okay, and coming to why we're here today, obviously Alan Babic versus Johnny Fisher. I think you've said before, this is a fight you never really thought to make, but when you look at the styles, is it just not like the perfect coming together?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't really think of it earlier, to be honest with you, but I was looking at the heavyweight rankings and I saw Alan Babic's name and I thought, fucking hell, that's a war, that is. But I don't know if they'll take it. Phoned up Johnny, he was like, let me speak to the team. Alan Babic said yes straight away, which is a bit worrying, really. But I just feel like it's a great fight. Johnny needs that test. Babic is a big name, helps us do a big crowd in London as well, and I think it's going to be an absolute war.
Do you think the fact that Alan is a guy that's not necessarily going to try and box and move and try and find angles, he's just going to come straight at you, high volume, high pressure, do you think that works in Johnny's advantage, or do you think that's probably
Alan's going to get chinned early, or it's going to go to the trenches and it's going to be a really tough night for Johnny Fisher? But I do think I think people underestimate Johnny. I feel like he's actually a very good heavyweight prospect. He's got a good jab, he's got tremendous work rate, he's got a good chin, punches very hard, good speed as well. So, I think he's a very, very good heavyweight prospect.
And quickly, just a word on some of the undercard fighters. I saw Jimmy Sains, Maisie Rose Courtney, etc.
Reece Bellotti, who's one of my favourite fighters, British and Commonwealth title against Levi Giles, great fight. Maisie Rose in her first title fight as well. John Hedges in 2 undefeated fighters for the Southern Area title. Giorgio Vizioli, look out for him. Jimmy Sains, Laylee Buttigieg. A lot of local fighters, going to be a big night. Okay, well look, Eddie, listen, I know maybe number 2 at the moment officially, but you're still number 1 in my books. Thank you very much for the time, and I hope to speak to you again soon. But take care. No worries, thank you. So yeah, look, as you can see, the banter was flowing. It was a nice little conversation. I could have I was actually in a position where I could have got a little bit longer time. He had been doing quite a few interviews, but we were kind of getting into the rapport. But I was conscious there was one other person behind me who did need to get some time. Although, to be fair, while I won't mention who that person was, they were going to get time regardless. So I probably could have stretched it out a little bit longer, but I was trying to be respectful to make sure that obviously keep that relationship fresh, sort of keep it snappy. And I will be looking to reach out to the team to see if I can maybe get an extended Zoom with Eddie or Frank or sort of the rest of the team over sort of the next couple of weeks. So yeah, hope, fingers crossed, that can take place. I'm also trying to do the exact same thing for Frank Warren, as that was another very good conversation that we had a couple of weeks back. But yeah, commiserations over the weekend. Obviously, as you guys know, Matchroom did get whitewashed, but Eddie does have fairly good spirits about the situation, and overall the event was amazing. So realistically, I guess that's pretty much what he cared about more so than the bragging rights. Personally, it probably burns a bit, but professionally it was a really good time. But yeah, please leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of the interview and just the other ones in general on those particular channels. But till then, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.